let us try to understand a very important topic in fatty acid metabolism, that is the oxidation. The oxidation is called beta oxidation. We will see why it is called beta oxidation. Now remember, beta oxidation occurs in the mitochondrial matrix. What we have is a fatty acid which is activated. So let us write the structure of this fatty acid in the following manner. This is the R group, hydrocarbon tail, so CH2. So we will write it in this manner. So now let us number these carbon atoms also, which makes life easy. So this is the alpha carbon atom, the beta carbon atom, the gamma carbon atom, etc. And the last one is going to be the omega carbon atom. In terms of numbering, this is carbon number 1, carbon number 2, carbon number 3. At the end of beta oxidation, we will try to break this bond, this carbon-carbon bond between alpha and the beta carbon atom. Since the new acetyl-CoA is going to be added to the beta carbon atom, we call it the beta oxidation. Let us see how this whole process takes place. So, this is fatty acyl-CoA. In step number 1, we will write step 1 here. In step number 1, what happens is, there is an enzyme which is part of this group of enzymes known as fatty acid oxidase. So there are different fatty acid oxidases depending on the chain length of the fatty acid. So each of these groups will have about 4 enzymes. The first enzyme in the fatty acid oxidase is fatty acyl-CoA dehydrogenase. So fatty acyl-CoA dehydrogenase. Since we use the term dehydrogenase, we know that it is an oxidation reduction reaction. Now this dehydrogenase, in the active site, it has an FAD. Okay, FAD is the electron acceptor. So what happens in this step number 1 is, you pay attention to carbon number 2 and 3. This is a saturated fatty acid. Now here a double bond is created by extracting 2 hydrogens. So this gets reduced to FADH2, and what happens is the remaining, we will write here R CH2 C. So a double bond is created. A double bond is created. Okay. Now, since this will be repeated, we shall call it, by using the IUPAC name, we call it enoyl-CoA. Okay, it's an enoyl-CoA because there is a double bond present. Now, where is the double bond present? So count the number atoms. 1, 2, between carbon number 2 and 3 there is a double bond present. So we call this one delta 2 enoyl-CoA. What is the nature of the double bond? That is very important. This is a trans double bond. So therefore, across the double bond, either bulky groups are there. So therefore, the product of the first step is trans delta 2 enoyl-CoA. Okay. So this is, and we have also produced one FADH2. That has to be noticed. Now we get into step number 1, step number 2. In step number 2, what is going to happen is a molecule of water is added. Okay, a molecule of water is going to be added. When this molecule of water is added, let us see what happens. We will work on this molecule. So there is a double bond here, H, and this is H. So this is trans delta 2 enoyl-CoA, a molecule of, so therefore this is step number 2, a molecule of water is added, And when a molecule of water is added, let us see what happens. So RCH2 to this, a molecule of water is going to be added. The molecule of water is added like this. It's added. So the double bond is gone. Now this product is known as C1, 2 and 3. Third carbon, there is a hydroxyl group. So it is called 3-hydroxy. 3-hydroxy fatty acyl CoA. 3-hydroxy fatty acyl CoA is generated. That happens in step number 2. Now to this, in the next step, what we will do is another oxidation reduction reaction, step number 3. So let us convert this into hydroxyacyl CoA. So therefore, our step number 3, so we have the hydroxyacyl CoA is here, okay. So in the next step, that is step number 3, that is again an hydroxyacyl CoA dehydrogenase. So the third enzyme in fatty acid synthase complex is a hydroxyacyl CoA dehydrogenase. This is an NAD dependent enzyme. So NAD is the electron acceptor. So this gets reduced to NADH plus H plus. Okay. So which are the two hydrogens that are removed? One is this hydrogen and the second is this hydrogen. Once these two hydrogens are removed, it is going to create a keto group there. Let us write down that structure. So therefore the final product we are going to get is, so double bond is created here, and a keto group, a keto group is created here. This becomes CH2. This is the product. And this product, carbon number 1, 2 and 3. So this is 3-keto fatty acyl CoA. 3-keto fatty acyl CoA is created with the help of another dehydrogenase enzyme. This is step number 3. Let us see what is the next step, and that is the last step. So prior to that, let us convert this molecule. So we have 3-keto fatty acyl CoA is here, 3-keto fatty acyl CoA, and in the last step, that is step number 4, a new coenzyme A is added. So a green pen, a coenzyme, and a new coenzyme A is added, and this coenzyme A is going to act on this bond, alpha beta bond. It is going to act on it, and it will cleave and remove these two carbon atoms, and those two carbon atoms will be removed as acetyl CoA. So therefore, if the net result is breaking and removing a 2 carbon as acetyl CoA, and you are left with the fatty acid chain which is less, 2 carbon atoms less. So that will be RCH2, and the new coenzyme A, that is S CoA. Okay. So this is what you are getting. This is N-2. If you have started with the 10 carbon atoms, a fatty acid with the 10 carbon atoms, now you will have only N-2, that is 8 carbon atoms. So this is one round. So you see, quickly let us see how many, we have taken 4 enzymes. First one was a dehydrogenase enzyme, then a hydratase enzyme, another dehydrogenase enzyme, and finally, the name of this enzyme is beta ketothiolase. This is called beta ketothiolase. 4 enzymes. Okay, 2 oxidation reduction reaction, 1 hydration reaction, and 1 cleaving. So therefore, at the end of that, what we have created is a fatty acid with less 2 carbon atoms less. So let us write a stoichiometry now. That is very interesting to write a stoichiometry. So what we have done is we have taken a fatty acyl CoA, okay, and in step number 1 we have added 1 FAD molecule. Step number 2 we added a molecule of water. Step number 3 we added a molecule of NAD plus, and step number 4 a coenzyme A. This is all what we did, added. In step number 1, what did we get in return? We got 1 FADH2. Step number 2, we got nothing. Step number 3, we got 1 NADH and an H plus. Step number 4, we got an acetyl CoA plus our fatty acyl CoA N-2 with the 2 carbon atoms less. Okay, so this is what we have. This is the stoichiometry. Now, in order to improvise this stoichiometry, let us assume if the fatty acid which is undergoing oxidation is palmitic acid. How many carbon atoms are present in palmitic acid? 16 carbon atoms. So let us replace this fatty acyl CoA with the palmitoyl CoA. So therefore this is palmitoyl CoA. It has got 16 carbon atoms. Okay, in one round, this is what you are going to get. And you will get an acetyl CoA and palmitoyl CoA with the 2 carbons less. That is, that will be meritoyl. So now, this process will be repeated. So I am writing it here. So we began here, one round, what happens is minus 2 carbon atoms. It happens a second round, another minus 2 carbon atom. Third round, another minus 2 carbon atoms. So this way, in every step, 2 carbon atoms will be removed and fatty acid can be completely oxidized. So for example, if you have to begin with a 16 carbon fatty acid, tell me how many rounds you require to break this to completely. So you will require about 7 cycles. It has to repeat 7 cycles. When you repeat 7 cycles, so therefore we start with the palmitoyl CoA, 7 cycles you require, so 7 FAD molecules you need, 7 molecules of water, 7 NAD plus, 7 coenzyme molecules, so the 16C will cancel, 7 coenzyme A molecules, and we will get 7 FADH2, 7 NADH, 7 H plus ions. How many acetyl CoA? 8 acetyl CoA. In 7 rounds, 8 acetyl CoA, and this is done. So this is the overall stoichiometry for oxidation of palmitic acid. I would suggest that in our free time you should work on the next fatty acid. Let us take stearic acid and make a stoichiometry in the same manner. So finally, let us conclude. What will be the energy yield from this? Okay, to do that, what is important is we take up only few things. We are producing the energy rich molecules here are NADH, 7 NADH and 8 acetyl CoA and 7 FADH2. That's all, we take it forward. So therefore, rubbing this portion. So we had 7 FADH2, 7 NADH and 8 acetyl CoA. This is what we got at the end of oxidizing palmitic acid. Let us assume that every FADH2 will give 1.5 ATP. So 7 into 1.5 is 10.5 ATP. Every NADH will give 2.5 ATP. 7 into 2.5 is 17.5 ATP. At the moment, let us assume that every acetyl-CoA gives 10 ATP molecules. So 8 into 10, we will learn how it forms 10 ATP. 8 into 10 is equal to 80. So let us total that. So that is about 108 ATP molecules. So this is the net yield, 108 ATP molecules. Now let us go back to one of the earlier sessions where we discussed about activation of fatty acid. When we were talking about the activation of fatty acids, we have seen that in order to activate a fatty acid, we used one ATP molecule in a reaction catalyzed by fatty acyl-CoA synthetase enzyme. So therefore, for activation, we have used -1 ATP. And in that step, if you remember correctly, ATP is broken down to AMP and PPI. And to incorporate that AMP, we have used another ATP molecules so that it gets converted to ADP by the enzyme adenylate kinase enzyme. So that is for incorporation. For incorporation, another one ATP. So minus these two, so the net yield is 106 ATP molecules from a 16 carbon fatty acid. This is the net yield. So therefore, what we have learned today is, we looked at the 4 steps by which a fatty acid can be oxidized to an ultimately into acetyl-CoA. We have also looked at how to write a stoichiometry for these reactions, and we reached a final stoichiometry, and I have given you an assignment of how to write a stoichiometry for stearic acid with 18 carbon atoms. And we have also seen the energy yield, and the final energy yield we have concluded that it is 106 ATP molecules.